Hi, I'm Kitty. I'm 24 years old. I'm English, but I have been living in Argentina for 12 years now, since I was 12. And I'm a painter, and I have a small independent art gallery here in Mendoza, which is the province in which I live in Argentina. Um, well, basically, the reason that I advocate for the Zeitgeist movement is that I just feel that it makes sense. Um, I've always sort of intuitively felt that there was something wrong with the political system, and I don't know, with most institutions in society, but namely the political system, because I always felt sort of passionate about issues of political issues, but never really felt attracted to the prospect of being a political activist. Although I have this sort of intuition and these vague feelings, it wasn't until I saw this Zeitgeist movement that it really sort of, I just felt that it expressed, it gave me the words that I couldn't really find. Um, and I felt this sort of um, rejection of the political system in a more obvious way than of the economic system, which I have to admit I always embraced as a sort of dogma. It never really fully dawned on me that there could be an alternative to this economic, as you refer to, sort of market monetary system. Although I do live in a third world country and constantly witness and feel the pressure that the monetary system has and how difficult and stressful it makes life. Um, I think that everyone really essentially feels this sort of pressure and this pink elephant in the room, which is sort of causing a frenzied state of mind in the population. But most people don't really want to admit this, and they certainly don't want to sort of have to stop and stare at this huge sort of felt but unnoticed animal in the room, because it's too much. It's too much effort, mental effort, and it's definitely too much time in this society where we feel that time is money. Uh, so, I mean, yeah. Anyway, I feel that this society is also is very confused, and it's sort of in a state of limbo because of there's a division or a dichotomy between this newfound sort of individual freedom of thought. I mean, it's amazing that nowadays, me, for example, I can film this video in my house and upload it to the internet where it can be seen by all these people, and I can essentially just say whatever I want. I mean, that is amazing. As an artist, you know, I can't support freedom of expression enough. Um, and also, this certain sense of individual empowerment that we have. That, as I say, this is relatively new and it's great. Um, but at the same time, we're still in a society that's ruled and structured around these very archaic systems and systems of values, and that we ourselves have because we have been educated in this system, and perhaps we can't really clearly see where our individual thoughts, the limits of our individual thoughts, where they are, and what is my thought and what are the thoughts that have been put in my head by this archaic sort of society. So that, I mean, that's why I feel that we're in a historical period of transition between this sort of great freedom and individuality and stuff. But at the same time, obviously, with very old-fashioned uh, systems. I can't believe that Christianity still has such a hold on society. It's totally and utterly obsolete. And I mean, well, whatever. But basically, that's why we're in a period of transition. with all of these technologies as well that are sort of bringing us forward, where other things are still sort of holding us back. That's natural. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong in this, as I say, in this transition period. But after seeing the movie, I think, or the 3 movies in this one long marathon on Sunday that I had on my computer, where I couldn't stop watching, one comes to realize that this change has to be accelerated. We have to take hold of it and not sort of just live out the natural flow and see where it takes us, but really have this radical change, because our current way of life is very dangerous to us and is ultimately destructive and might essentially end up by killing us, or at least our grandchildren, which obviously as a species we shouldn't want. Anyway, but I can't help feeling, this is the last thing I wanted to say, and I don't mean to be negative, I can't help feeling that, you know, I'm slightly utopist when I dream about a better future, and however well planned and logical and practical the Venus Project sounds, I feel that it's a matter of faith in humankind to be able to bring about such a huge change. I mean, I myself am a bit daunted at the prospect of having to radically change my personal views in my future projects. It's like becoming a child again, virtually, and assimilating all of these new things, you know, out with the old, in with the new, and seeing up to which point it will just change my whole sort of line of thought and everything. I can imagine, you know, I'm 24, but I can imagine someone of 50 or 40 that's like going to be really difficult. Sorry. You know, I mean, I have several questions to put forward to the Venus Project and the Zeitgeist movement, the directors and the people sort of in the know, before I totally let go of this initial apprehension. But for the moment, I admire and stand by the movement. I think I really applaud the effort. I put my faith in their intelligence. I like the word faith, even though it's very sort of Christian and old-fashioned. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna definitely try and enlighten the people around me, and you know, it's like a light at the end of the tunnel, so I'm very appreciative of that, and I think that it's great that that this is happening. So look forward to eventually being a part of this in the future.